The official Transformers 1 trailer just dropped, and we are here to break it down right now, not wasting any time. This was a fantastic trailer, so getting right into it, the first 15 seconds of the trailer showcases a lot of what will probably be later in the movie as we see Megatron and Optimus Prime, not D16 and Orion Pax, with a little bit of a voiceover from both of them about how they've been at war for so long, and it really is kind of just setting the stage for what exactly happened. And again, this animation really does look amazing, especially when we get a couple shots of their fight sequence. Optimus puts out the double flamethrower. It just looks amazing. And then we get, of course, the flashback to what we're going to be getting for the majority of the movie, which is, of course, the origin between Orion and D16 from two lowly worker bots to the respective leaders of the Autobot and Decepticon factions. We then get a couple more scenes, again featuring Darkwing, who we saw in that very first trailer, who is the one who deposits them down in front of Bumblebee. But of course, we see a little bit more between Orion and Megatron as they defend each other. And there's a little bit of the banter between the fact that they cannot transform. So that really sets the stage for the Transformers who can transform, for the most part, looking down upon the workers who don't transform and just play their roles in the Transformers society, and they're looked at as the lessers. We then get a couple more scenes, but they're not connected together. Although they're put next to each other, I don't think they're connected, because we see Starscream from the looks of it and some other Decepticons in a different fight scene. But the scene before, we see Elita, Optimus, Megatron, and Bumblebee get this beacon. It is a distress beacon from Alpha Trion on the surface, who calls to them, of course, and that kind of kickstarts the whole process of them finding him, and we'll see them getting their T-Cogs in a second. We get a couple cool shots, some that we've seen before, of the surface, and again, it really does just look beautiful. Especially, this animation really is growing on me, especially since I'm happy that this tone definitely leans into the darker feeling that a lot of us wanted from this movie, and many people were kind of apprehensive after seeing the first trailer and a lot of the more comedic, goofy stuff, and a lot of people were like, okay, is this going to be another like super kids movie? But no, we are going to get that turn, and this trailer definitely showcases some of it, and we see our main heroes, at the time, still heroes, running on the surface from some of the Quintesson ships that are coming in. And then we see the entire sequence of them finding Alpha Trion, reawakening him after what seems to be a very long time, and he bestows the T-Cogs upon him. Now, they've shown a lot of clips from the event today, and they've been showing, they showed the movie itself a couple days ago, and there is information coming out from the clips that they were showcasing that Alpha Trion is going to be naming primes correctly in the lore by name, at least 6 of them, I believe. And this is going to be a really cool scene where he's really going to fill them in on the Transformers lore. And apparently it is very in line, and it does pay homage, and it's very respectful to everything that has come before. But a new line, we hear Alpha Trion speaking over some of the sequences we've seen before of all of our heroes transforming for the first time. How you choose this power is up to you, of course, foreshadowing the divergence, the split in the road that Megatron and Optimus take when it comes to embracing their power and how they choose to use it. We then get a really funny scene, though, of Optimus saying, "We roll out," in front of a number of Decepticons. I'm curious to see where this is going to come in here. But we see, of course, a great look at Sound and Shockwave, as well as Skywarp there in the background with a number of other Decepticons, of course. We don't know who they are specifically, but those are the 3 that we can, of course, call out definitively. Skywarp, Soundwave, and Shockwave, all of them looking fantastic. Although the Soundwave design, I was a little bit apprehensive about. It was a little boxy to me, but it does look definitely a lot better here. But Shockwave, perfect. We see some more scenes of Megatron and Orion talking about building a better world, and Megatron looking much more serious and a bit more sinister, saying how they can be so much more. And we see some scenes of Arachnid too. She looks fantastic. There's something coming out of her back. I don't know what this is with all these little eye-looking things. We're curious to see what this scene is going to be. We see some more scenes we've seen before, but then we see Elita talking to Optimus, talking about how Megatron D16, he's definitely a little bit different. So they definitely start picking up on his more sinister, the more dark layers behind the mask of their friendship. This transitions into the next scene, and this is where we're going to get to do some fun speculating, and we spot a bunch of Decepticons, familiar faces or new ones. We'll see who they are, so I'm going to be hesitant to label all of them, but the ones we definitely do know, we see Megatron pinning Starscream down in what looks to be a one-on-one fight, as we see Dirge in the background. That looks like Dirge in the back right cheering him on. But it looks to be that when the Autobots and Megatronus, our Core 4, stumble upon Starscream in his lair, looks like there's going to be a one-on-one fight, probably for leadership. Megatron is going to kick Starscream's ass and then assert himself as the leader of the Decepticons. Just some speculation based off what we're seeing here. Could be totally different, but we're definitely seeing Megatron pull out his massive iconic cannon in the face of Starscream, who he's pinning down with one hand. The next scene shows a shot of Optimus, obviously kind of reacting a little bit in shock, seeing this dark rage come out of his friend in the fight, and then he kind of talks about it. In the next scene is Bumblebee also makes a joke, but he's saying, "What happened to my friend?" And we see some scenes of them, of course, running together when they are still all jolly and happy as friends. Right before we see some really cool sequences of Megatron kind of turning darker, turning into Megatron. You see his core looking to be corrupted. I'm hesitant to say dark energon, but it is that dark purple color, and he of course does not have the Matrix, but something in his chest, the core, his spark, looks pretty corrupted in this scene as we see him powering up, his arms getting more armor, his cannon coming out, and his design really does look damn good. The D16 design, I was wondering how much they were going to pump the juice into it to make him look like Megatron. And all these shots we've seen of him, although we haven't seen too many full body, full action shots, we're getting a lot of these quick glimpses. He looks great in all of them. And Megatron remarks, "Burn it down, all of it." And Alita says, "We got to stop him." We get a bunch more scenes, some that we've seen before of this big fight that looks like it's going to be happening at nighttime. And we see more of Megatron and Optimus facing off. All of these scenes really look fantastic. Optimus says to him how we could have built the future together, and Megatron replies, "I don't think so." And again, I was curious to see how Brian Tyree Henry would alter his voice to, of course, embrace that Megatron darkness. And I gotta say, I'm really loving it, and those reviews are seeming to be very in line with what we're seeing in the trailer. The hyper positivity is matching up. This trailer really did make me even more excited. Again, we see some more shots we've seen before of some of that conflict early on when they're racing down the mountain, and then we see Megatron himself embracing the Decepticons in a really cool, ominous, dark red scene. It's just, I'm curious to see. There's a lot of really cool settings and different set pieces. Of course, it's all animated. They could do whatever they want. It's not really a set piece, but you know what I mean. A bunch of different environments that we're going to see across the planet of Cybertron, and I cannot wait to see this on a massive movie theater screen. Megatron says his iconic line, "Decepticons rise up," and these shots, again, just looking at them, I cannot wait to see this on the live screen. We get Alita fighting Arachnid, kicking her through a building as she transforms and races back out. These shots, like, this is clearly made by someone who loves Transformers and really wanted to take advantage of everything they could do in an animated movie like this. And again, these long shots of like the camera spinning around and following the characters as they're fighting. This shot of Optimus just spinning and kicking and swirling around. That may be Starscream who's flying up on him. I think it is. But again, amazing. Like, whoever is putting this together, they did a great job. This was a fantastic trailer 2, I guess the official trailer 2, and I cannot wait to see this movie. But the trailer ends with a little funny shot of and this kind of picks up with what I was talking about just a little bit ago in that scene where Megatron has Starscream pinned down in what looks to be a one-on-one fight. We see Starscream, and that's supposedly his lair, with him sitting on the throne, Soundwave and Shockwave in front of him, and the rest of the Decepticons in a big circle as our protagonists are on their knees as prisoners. And Bumblebee's kind of making a joke about how there's so many people here with the name of Wave, put your hands up. But we get a little tease of Steve Buscemi's voice as Starscream, and I have to say, I'm loving it, even though he only says one word. He sounds great. He's got the tone and the pitch perfect for Starscream. Again, all in all, fantastic trailer. There's probably a bunch more Easter eggs and just other Transformers characters that were running around in the background of shots that we didn't really pick up on, that we will get more focus on in the movie. If that does happen, I'll definitely be posting pictures in the community tab, or maybe as I'm editing this video, I'll be able to throw it in. But for now, really, there wasn't too much crazy stuff revealed, other than because we kind of knew the narrative from the first trailer. But again, this just kind of showed us more of what we haven't seen, and really kind of teased us of the darker side of the movie, the more conflict that we didn't get from the first trailer. And I really do think maybe they listened to the feedback. Who knows? They probably cut up this trailer a long time ago, but it really does seem like they listened to the feedback of showing us what a lot of the fans were critical of and weren't certain about this movie. I think a lot of those questions are now going to be answered. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for the support on my last 3 videos. We're going to keep it churning now. We're in full Transformers season leading up to the next couple months. We're going to be getting a lot of content, toys, reviews, and more. We'll see what we have next. Let me know in the comments down below. Likes, dislikes, anything is appreciated. And until next time, peace.
This ain't